Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. I have actually been recording these in a bit of a batch, so this is going to be the last one I do in this batch and then I'll have time to catch up. So if you've got any suggestions that I haven't implemented, they will be implemented in the next episode. For now though, welcome to episode 13, episode 14, leg number 13. Today we are flying from BIAR Akureyri Airport to BIRL Reykjahlid Airport. So this is going to be a flight pretty much straight across land. Actually, we're going to be doing this as a completely straight flight, so there'll probably be no music. It'll probably just be me chatting, because I don't think this is going to be a very long flight at all. So we're going to get started, I think. Let me get into the cockpit. I'll load the map up in a minute. For now, let's get everything set up. So battery on, nav light on, beacon on. Let me put the throttle in a little. I'll put the mixture on. No, we'll leave the mixture there. This is what we did last time, isn't it? And it worked. So, start the engines. Come on. Okay. So I think we'll leave it there actually. That's pretty well leaned. So directional gyro. Weather today. I am using real world weather again today. So 3900 overcast, 26500 scattered, visibility more than 10, rain apparently, I don't see any at the moment. Wind light and variable, QNH 986. And where we're flying is right here, not very far at all. So we've got runway 2 and 20. I don't know which one we'll take, to be honest. We'll decide as we get closer. But let's get this set. So 986. That would be there. Okay. So engine's running, which means alternator on, avionics bus is on. We're going to do a direct to. Let me open this so you can see it. Come on. L. Perfect. So, enter that and activate. 28 nautical miles. So we're not going to cruise very high today. In fact, for 28 miles, I might just try and hand fly the whole thing and see how that goes. The oil temperature is just warming up, so what do we need to do? We're not going to use any flaps for takeoff. It's going to be fine. Wind is light and variable, so I would suggest, let me see. Let me just have a look. So this runway, which way do we need to go? Let's have a look again. Okay, so we basically need to be flying that way. So it doesn't really matter, but I think if we take off as soon as we turn onto the runway, then we can turn left through this, either this mountain pass here or this one here, depending on how much altitude we've got. Very worst case, through there we turn left. Okay, so just got to wait for that oil temperature to rise. I will do that, and when we're ready I will come back to you. Right then, temperature has just gone into the green, so it is time for us to stop waiting and start moving. I'm going to put the taxi lights on. We are going to release the parking brakes. There we go. And we will taxi. And I'm going to taxi in this view, I think. Don't ask me why, I just kind of fancy doing it. There is no particular reason for doing it, no benefit. I feel like maybe we are going just a little bit too fast there. So we will line ourselves up. And you know what? We're going to take off in this view as well. Because why not? Why not indeed? So, let's go to full throttle. Whoa, stick to the center line. So, airspeed is alive. Oh, now I can see some rain. And 60 knots. Let's rotate. Woohoo! Okay. Right, now, I am aware from when I did the editing that you guys can't see that very well, so I think it's better to be in this view so that you can keep an eye on everything. As you will notice, we are currently climbing in the direction that I was thinking of us going. We're going to see if we can make it over that mountain. I think we can, probably. Just about. Right, so let's start trimming. Okay. There we go. We should be on nose up. We are, yes. Good. I didn't put the landing lights on. Whoops, all the strobes. Turn the taxis off. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to put the pitot heat on as well. I am doing a really good job of controlling this plane at the moment, aren't I? He seems to be climbing far too high. So I'm just going to bring the pitch a little bit back. I don't know what the real aircraft is like. Maybe it's a case of little and often. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe you don't need that much pitch trim. Maybe it's, yeah, don't need as much as I was originally thinking. They're still bouncing quite a lot though. And this isn't the ridge I was going for. I'm actually trying to go for, go here. Oops, out of view. Trying to go for the one that's dead in front of us. That's the one I want. It looks like there is rain. It's not showing on the windows. I thought REP had lib rain installed automatically. Maybe it doesn't. This is nice though, look at this. Very nice. Lovely. Right. Currently approaching... No, we've gone past 2,000, so we're approaching 2,500 feet. And we are still climbing. Going to climb to 4, I think. 4 should be adequate. Should allow us to get over these hills as well. I don't want to call them mountains because I don't think they're that big, although they are pretty monstrous. I think I see snow on top. I think I do. So, estimated time en route at the moment is about 17 minutes, it appears. Of course, as our speed changes due to us ballooning, that number keeps varying quite drastically. Right, we're almost high enough, I think. Need to be a little bit higher. a co-pilot? Not much. So we're going to set the heading. We'll set it to 120. Because I will try and trim this out myself, but if all else fails, we will stick on autopilot mode, and I will just use the autopilot for a very short while. While we're doing that, it's good to VNAV. And on VNAV, oops. We'll go for, again, same as last time, 1,000 feet. 2.5 nautical miles before, not after, BIRL, with a descent profile of 700 feet. There we go. So we don't need to descend just yet. Let's close that down and let's start trying to trim this girl back. So, you heard my hat switch there. My hat switch is set to trim. So we'll just see how this does. At the moment we're still climbing a little, but I'm not too concerned about that. If we go a little bit too high, this is struggling, isn't it? I shouldn't have to put you into nose down, I shouldn't think. No, he's almost at takeoff position. But I guess takeoff position is a nose up position. That would make sense. So I'm just turning to try and intercept a little. A bit off at the moment. Okay, this is not working very well, so we're going to trim ourselves. Heading mode on, alt mode on as well. There we go. So we're at about 5,000 feet actually, which means the VNAV is saying we should descend in 7 minutes, pretty much. And let's lean ourselves out as well while we're here. Okay. So our speed is dropping quite drastically. We might need to put this in a little bit more. That looks good. That looks like a healthy speed. Nice. Okay. Is the speed increasing? It is. That's what I want. Okay. We just watch the world go by for a little. And I do have some facts for you. As always, I have a few facts. And, ooh, that was a bit of a wind there. Bit of a wind. Honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. What have we got? We have got a headwind of 15 knots. Okay. Apparently the wind at our altitude is 128 at 20 knots. It's quite a lot. No turbulence. No, sorry, light turbulence. Ooh, okay. Well, there we go. Light turbulence. Not such a big deal, I don't think. Which view we're in that one. Okay. How's our airspeed doing? Not bad at all. So 15 minutes. with 7 minutes remaining on VNAV. So let's have a chat. No, wrong view again. Let's put it here. In fact, we can close this. I don't think we do. Sorry, I'm being a little bit weird. Change my mind every 2 seconds. So we can just watch this while I give you a couple of facts. So, what have we got? Arctic Henge, set in Raufarhöfn, one of the most remote and northernmost villages in Iceland, where the Arctic Circle lies just off the coast. The Arctic Henge, Heimskautsgerdid, is under construction. Similar to its ancient predecessor, Stonehenge, the Arctic Henge is like a huge sundial, aiming to capture the sun's rays, cast shadows in precise locations, and capture the light between aligned gateways. Lovely. And then another one we have here is Askja, is a 50-kilometre square caldera. I will have to check what a caldera is in a minute. In the Dingjöfjöll Mountains. The mountains emerged in eruptions under an Ice Age glacier cap. Askja itself was formed for the most part at the end of the Ice Age in a major ash eruption, which caused the roof of the magma chamber at the heart of the central volcano to subside. Askja is a part of Vatnajökull National Park. The caldera contains several volcanoes, including Fiti, explosive volcanic crater. Water has accumulated in the crater and its temperature is variable. It's around 30 degrees on average. And then we've also got the Dettifoss waterfall. It is the most powerful waterfall in Europe. 500 cubic meters of water per second plunge over the edge. Dettifoss is 45 meters high and 100 meters wide. So we've had a few waterfalls during this tour. A few facts about waterfalls, but of course it gives you an idea of how many waterfalls there actually are in Iceland. Now, I'm going to check what a caldera is, because this is not a term that I've heard before. A caldera is a large cauldron-like hollow that forms shortly after the emptying of a magma chamber reservoir in a volcanic eruption. When large volumes of magma are erupted over a short time, structural support for the rock above the magma chamber is lost. Okay. Interesting. And if you want to Google that yourself, it is Caldera. Check it out. You can see some calderas. Now, back to the plane. We are 11 minutes out. We have got 4 minutes until we descend, and we are 15.7 nautical miles. Okie dokie. It's not too bad. Pretty sure we won't be able to see it, but let's have a look on the map and see if we can spot BIRL. Don't think so. Not yet, at least. Too far away. Okay, so back in here. We are going to turn now. I think we should turn to a heading of 120. Reason being, I'm going to try and come in on the runway 2 arrival, which means we're going to need time to turn to actually line up the runway. So we might have to, you see we've just turned here, we might have to turn a little bit more just so that we have time to come up and make our approach. Not a big deal though, I don't think. This is one of the only places the ortho has not disappointed me that much. You can see some colour variation, but in general, the colours are good, which is a nice change. I'm pleased. Because it does always disappoint me greatly when the colours are so off. We are swinging in the wind a bit here, aren't we? Let me just open active sky and I can check. Headwind is now 20. So the winds are 130 at 21. We've basically turned dead on, pretty much. Does mean we're going to get one hell of a side wind, a crosswind, when we come in for landing. Which in a plane like a little Cessna is not good. Bigger planes obviously have a larger surface area to be hit by crosswind, but they also have bigger rudders, and the bigger rudder and helps them to keep the stability. On a small plane like a Cessna, even though there's not so much body to be hit, that rudder is very, very small. And I don't remember from my training, I don't remember if crosswinds have a large effect on propellers themselves. It's better to have wind facing you for a propeller, technically, but you don't normally try and fly into a headwind, I don't believe. But yeah, I don't know if crosswinds have any effect on propellers themselves. They might try and add to the centrifugal or centripetal force. And I'm rambling. I'm completely rambling. Ah, goodness me. Right. VNAV says start descending in 1.5 minutes. Okay. You probably can't see that, but I can keep an eye on it and I'll tell you when it's time for us to descend. Hopefully that should be adequate. Now what's our temperature? Ooh, 1 degree. Nice and cold. Nice and cold. And we are now about 11 nautical miles out. Not far left now. So we'll start descent in 1 minute. Can we now see the runway? It's going to be somewhere out there. Ah. Is that it? No, that's a road. You'd hear the excitement in my voice now. Is that it? Is that it? So there's a lake, and it's just at the top of the lake, it seems. That was a good TV show, Top of the Lake. There we go, more randomness for you. Right, I don't see a runway, not yet. But it must be over there somewhere. Unless... Oh, we are buffeting. I haven't moved the view. That's just the plane moving on its own. So, I'm trying not to make you sick. I really do apologise. Okay. Could be that patch of dirt over there, but I really don't know. There's a patch of dirt just by here. But, yeah, completely unsure. I don't see anything, to be honest. Ah! No. Maybe I do. Is that a runway? That is a runway. There we go. So we've got runway in sight now. Now, I'm going to stop making you feel sick. I apologise for that. We need to start descending. 700 feet per minute. We'll just go down to 8, because we're a little off target at the moment. And we can see on the map we have some kind of... I don't know what that is. Because you have a flock of birds on the map. Is that meant to be like a goose or something? I really don't know. It must indicate that there's something bigger that we have to pay attention to. So, as we know where the runway is, and we're not too far, I am going to turn the map off. We're going to stay leaned until 2,500 feet. 3,000 to 2,500. We'll keep ourselves leaned, just to save some fuel. We are, of course, building up ground speed quite quickly at the moment. And apparently we need to be descending at about 900 feet a minute. I think because of the wind, we're struggling a bit. But if we descend at 9, I'll keep an eye on that. Let's bring this up. so we can see how close we are, how far off track. At the moment, I think we're good. Right, so we'll wait for that to get to 800, and then we can drop it down again. There's no need to descend faster than we have to. And of course we're going to be flying over the lake in order to get there. I've lost the runway again. For goodness sake. Oh, terrible. I don't see it. Maybe the passengers can see it. I'm spotting. But I don't see... Ah, there it is. Over there. Yes. Cool. I think I'm going to go for a shot like this. Need some screenshot pictures, so... Always need screenshot pictures. They are of the utmost importance. Oh, we can now go down to 7. In fact, we can go to 6. There we go. So we're now actually a little below our path. So I'm changing again to 500. Like I said, there really is no need to descend faster than we need to. And I think now would be a good time to start turning. So runway heading is 02, which means the 90 degree would be 110. So let's just turn ourselves to 110. So we will now be, when we make this turn, flying perpendicular to the runway. And we are 6.8 nautical miles out. In fact, we're not getting any closer to it now. We're basically just setting ourselves up now for a 6.8 nautical mile final. Which means I'm actually going to turn 30 degrees in, so that would be 80 degrees. Okay. So we'll start intercepting the final course for the runway. Still a little off to the side, but it's not a big deal. And we are now coming up to 2,000. No, in fact, we're coming up to 1,000 now, so let's turn that off. I'm going to trim this now, again to just 200 feet a minute. As I keep saying, I do not want to rush this. I don't want us to descend quicker than we really should. I think if we now turn again, we can turn to 03, which will mean we're pretty much lined up, and we just need to keep an eye on something. I don't remember what now. Useless. Just need to keep an eye on deviation, course deviation. Okay, now where is the runway? That didn't work, so let's go up here. The runway is over there. Okay, so course deviation, quite bad. Let's level out here. So there is the runway over there. Yep, so we're really not lined up at the moment. And we're doing a bit of a slow and low. As you can see. It's very green here. The ortho tiles are a bit funny looking. But to be honest, they did this for all of Iceland. They made it all look a little bit odd. I'm not quite sure what it is. Right, we are now 3 nautical miles away. I now have control. So we're going to go into this view. Obviously, as I said, I know that you can't really see the HUD very well, but I can, and I've just realised something very stupid of me. Put that into full. Thank you. It's still off course. I managed to actually overcorrect, and now we're having problems with that. So, just pull that throttle back. Whoa. Whoa, Nelly. Come on. So, speed is dropping. Let's go. Flaps 1. Flaps 2. And flaps full. And we're going to have to give him a bit more power to make sure we don't actually stall this plane. You can see the runway just off to the left. Well, sort of, what is it, about 20 degrees off to the side. How are we doing with speed? A bit more speed, I think. Power even. Because we are slowing just far too quickly here. There we go. That's better. The last thing I want to do is stall the plane and crash right before we're supposed to be landing. Now, we are 1,000 feet above. More than 1,000 feet above. We need to get ourselves down. This is asphalt by the looks of it. But even still. Wow. That crosswind is quite high, isn't it? We are crabbing quite badly here. Crabbing. No, we're not coming down. Right, so we are now going around. Which means what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a turn at the end of the runway. And keep the altitude up. Keep the flaps where they were as well. As this is a nice small plane and I don't really want to practice maneuvers today, I'm going to do what I did in one of the previous episodes, and I am just going to put a turn at the end of the runway. Oh, we need a lot more power, apparently. So, let's start turning. Maybe I can, if I shift down. This is really not the ideal thing to do. Whoa! So I'm stalling the guy, full power. Have I lost the runway? No, it's there. Right, okay. We're going all the way around then. We are pulling the world's worst missed approach maneuver. So, let's go for the base leg. Not the base leg, downwind. We are currently climbing though, that's the problem. Power off. I need to stop climbing. Otherwise I'm never going to get down in time. Let's see what the packs can see. The runway's there, so we're still good. but we need to get the altitude down. So let's trim down. Okay, that's better, because now the trim is pointing us down. So all I have to do is just make sure we stay down. But the speed is increasing a bit too much. Oh my goodness, this is a nightmare of approach. This is why flying in real weather conditions is more tricky. Of course, real life is even more tricky, I suppose. Come on. Get that nose down. And what is that over there? Oh my goodness, look at that. There's a couple of ships over here, but that is brilliant. Like a old-timey pirate boat. Okay, so we're approaching 1,500 feet. Now, let's pull a turn. We're also shedding some altitude while we do this, so it's not a big problem. Not really a bad thing. Right, let's get ourselves straight this time. Last time I came in on an angle and it really did not help me at all. So I would like to be a bit more straight on it. Okay, let's start the turn. Still descending. Wow, that's a bit of a nosedive there, it seems. But it's good. We do need to get down. And the plane does not want to move down. Come on, girl. You'll drop the speed even more. Crabbing again. But at least, well, it looks like we're coming in to land. Which means I am going to have to do a last minute switch. Come on. Come on. Oh. So that's the brakes on. Come on, come on. We are swerving, swerving, swerving. Okay, that was not a good landing. That was more like an emergency landing, to be honest. And I think we may have just caused some damage to the tyres. So, let's... Oh, you know what? My heart is in my throat there. Let's get taxied. Pull the flaps up. There's no visible damage, but yeah, we don't really get visible damage in here, so that's to be expected. So yeah, that was one hell of a landing. And of course, the problem of using rudder, using the X brake toe to yaw, what else is it called? X toe brake to yaw, is that Rep thinks I'm pressing on the brakes when I land, so it doesn't like it. What I'm really doing is just hitting the rudder to try and get us to turn. Now, how do I get off the runway? Oh, okay, so we just drive on the gravel. Alright, we can do that. That was what I was a little bit concerned about. I couldn't work out how to get off. And of course we're going to need a bit more throttle to get over here. It's a shame really that the REP tow system doesn't work very well on things like asphalt and gravel either, because of course it would be useful to be able to tow across those sorts of things. So when the plane isn't capable of doing it, at least we could tow instead. But c'est la vie, I guess. Right, cut the throttle, pull the mixture. Ah yes, that's why I'm supposed to turn these off before, because the alternator just cut out. Oh, I'm not doing very well here, am I? Right, we're down. Let's do a damage check before I check how that landing was. So, where we go? Here we go. Still got time, we don't need to change the oil. That all looks okay, that's okay, okay. Some wearing is visible, some wearing is visible. We can deal with some wearing, I think. So, we've earned a bit more money. How is our bank account in total? 7743, we started with 2,000. So it's not so bad, could be worse. And let's just go back. There we go. So let's go into our gear view. Well, in fact, let's have a look from above. That's not a bad one. So we can see we had the crab automatically to come into the runway, and then if I put on slow-mo, long landing, of course. Long landing, and we're off center. But we're drifting back onto center. Still fairly high. Speed it up a little. And that was when, yeah, so I smacked the rudder. And we came down on all three wheels. In fact, we came down nose wheel first. Bounced a little. I think we speed it up now. And this was when, yeah, everything went to hell. Ah, you know what? It looks like it thinks it was gravel. So even though it's asphalt, oh, look at that. We almost tipped the plane. My goodness. So we go back to the gear view. We can see exactly how bad that was. I did manage to get it, you know, to swing at the right time, but yeah, that was not a good landing. Really not a good landing. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. As I said, the next episode, any feedback you've had, I will be able to put it in there. But for now, thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us on Discord. And I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.